News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. A little bit more on the illegal invasion, how dangerous it is. Then we're going to get into Kamala, because literally, who is she and what are her positions? Nobody knows. Just pick your own adventure. That's literally what the Wall Street Journal editorial board said today. Harris is now the political equivalent of choose your own adventure. She's a choose your own adventure book. You write the script, the middle, the ending, and she plays the role until she has to make decisions. Then you're going to find out who she is after you elect her. Just feel special. Go nuts. It's magic. Many are saying it's just magic. It's magic with no policy. It's how everybody wants a country run, right? Kamala and Joe have invaded us with up to 14 million illegals at least in almost 4 years. To give you more examples of who is here, we have 8 arrested Tajik nationals with potential terrorist ties to ISIS that came in June 2024. 3 of those ISIS members were allowed in and were released into our U.S. country using Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's CBP One app. Come on in. Kill us. Allahu Akbar? Yes. Which Jews' throat do you want to slit here? Which Americans' throat do you want to slit here? Which building would you like to blow up? Which sporting event or Taylor Swift concert would you like to shoot up like you just tried to do in Vienna? Here's another one. Hezb-e-Islami, one of the many radical Islamist groups from the Middle East, killed 2 U.S. soldiers and 4 U.S. contractors, as well as Afghan civilians and children in a car bomb attack in 2013. Some of their members, come on in, they're here. Why not? Allahu Akbar. Another program, you've heard about the direct flight program where Kamala and Joe sneakily didn't count any numbers of the 500,000, 500,000 illegals. They flew in directly from their countries into our airports, and we didn't know who they were, and they looked like they were normal people. They're not. They're illegals flown in by Joe and Kamala. They're from Venezuela, Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua. And guess what? They have suspended that program after doing it for almost 4 years because massive fraud. 101,000 forms. One of every 5 forms were filled out by 3,200 serial sponsors. 3,200 people sponsored a whole bunch of people, like way more, like a number. Their number appears on 20 or more forms. They're just filling out forms. Print, sign, print. They also found that 24 of the 1,000 most used numbers belong to dead people. Meanwhile, 100 physical addresses they used were used between 124 and 739 times on over 19,000 forms. Some of these addresses included storage units. Yes. They were submitted on, the one sponsor's phone number was submitted on over 2,000 forms. Yes. Same number, 2,000 people, 2,000 forms. There were 2,800 forms with non-existent sponsor zip codes. Joe and Kamala let in 500,000 of illegals. Who the hell are they? We don't know. Where are they going? We don't know. Some of them are these Tren de Aragua violent gangs. This from the Daily Mail the other day. Tren de Aragua committing a violent smash and grab crime at a jewelry store. This is part of their national group that they have now. Tren de Aragua is a massively violent transnational gang that never existed in America until Joe and Kamala opened their borders. So they are doing terrorism, murders, and crime in Denver, Chicago, New York, Miami, Georgia, and here. Just to name a few. One of them shot and almost killed one of our cops. One of them, literally a Venezuelan illegal that Kamala let in, shot a cop. His girlfriend called for domestic abuse. They open the door and he shoots him, hits the female officer, almost kills her. They kill him. One of the great Kamala Joe illegals. Killing cops on the side. Tren de Aragua has also recently opened up a new thing. They have now said to all their members, it's okay, target law enforcement, kill them. This is what they do. Why would they not do it here when they do that in freaking Venezuela, where the government, they will torture you, shove a what do you call it, a hose up your you-know-what and turn it on high and beat the hell out of you and starve you and cut your head off. They don't care. These are people that you don't even want to have in our country to even think about coming to our country. They're all over now. One of them, a Venezuelan illegal Trinidad Agua member, passed Denver law enforcement was looking for them, facing charges on this jewelry heist where they grabbed a woman by her hair, dragged her around, put the guns to all these women's heads, stole everything. He's been booked down on a $1 million bond, faces charges of first-degree murder, so he killed one of the folks, attempted aggravated robbery, and menacing. According to a news outlet that reported this in Denver, the net closed in on this Trinidad Agua member after a raid on a motel in Texas. They're headquartered here. Viva! Viva! Trinidad Agua! Joe and Kamala, you did it. We never thought a new violent gang worse than MS-13 could ever come to America, and nothing could happen without you, Kamala. They arrested a number of people inside in the El Paso hotel raid. They're all Trinidad Agua. Their officials there said the suspect that was in Denver they're all over our country, killing us, raping us, murdering us, and kidnapping us. And that's it. So the last thing I want to share with you on this, our number is 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Chime in right now. We got 3 minutes. Get on the phone right now. Get on with us. 800-288-WBAP. How safe do you feel with Joe and Kamala's illegal invasion for almost 4 years now? Here's another thing. From Fox News, a flashback. Harris campaign shared a study touting the electoral benefits of not deporting illegals. Quote, it shows the electoral implications of not deporting illegal immigrants, saying the policy could provide sizable contributions to the victory in swing states. It's the replacement theory, and Kamala supported the plan when she ran in 2019 for president. We estimate the plan will protect over 6 million illegals from deportation, citing a study that talked about the, quote, electoral implications of protecting the illegals from deportation. Implementing this is not only the right thing to do for the economy, it also has key electoral implications. There are 3.7 million who would benefit, and you could have 5.5 million U.S. citizens. More than half of them are voting age. Si se puede! Yes. Are you feeling the socialist movement, the communist movement, the Marxist movement? We are bringing third worlds here, and they're more important than us. They're taking our vote, and they're going to run this country. Come run us. Run us like Venezuela, where they're starving. They have no money to speak of. Inflation is through the roof. There's nothing. People starve. They die. There's nothing. Their government shoots them on the streets when they rise up against the elections being rigged, and they have demonstrable proof that everything was rigged. This time they were prepared for the Maduro vote, and so in the election centers, they literally took total evidence, forensic evidence, and put it all up on the websites. So they released it. And he came out and lied and said he got 70% of the vote when he got like 40 or 35%. This has been confirmed by the United States, Bolivia, I think it was, or all these countries in Central America, South America, but also by the U.S. and many other countries. It was rigged, and it was proven that it was rigged. That's who's coming here, and that's who you want to replace our vote, and they're doing it. So the next question is, who is Kamala Harris? She told us that she's in favor of banning fracking and ending offshore drilling, but now, quietly, anonymously, her staff tells the press, shh, don't say who I am. She's against it now. She was for the new Green Deal and guaranteed jobs, and she's anonymous aide to a press person. She's changed her position. She supported a mandatory buyback where the government shows up at your door with guns, and if you don't give them your guns back, if you give them your guns back, you'll get some cash. If you don't, they're going to come in and take your guns from you at the end of a barrel of a gun. She also said ICE should be abolished. It's bad. Shh. An anonymous aide tells the press, shh. She's now against it. She's now for or against. I can't even keep up with her positions. She was for forcing us to give her all our guns. Now she's against it. She won't say it, and she won't talk to the press about it. Who is she? It's Choose Your Own Adventure Kamala. We'll talk to you about that coming up next on the Chris Kroc Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. This is really amazing on how bad our situation is with Kamala and who the heck she is. Everybody and their brother is figuring this out. She is everything to everybody without telling anybody what she stands for. Nothing shows you this, that she literally will not speak off the cuff. She is not capable and does not want to have a conversation with press who will ask her questions, hold her accountable, and she does not want to tell you what her policies are, nor does she want to tell you why she's reversed every single policy decision she's ever supported. But she won't even tell you that she has people secretly, anonymously tell the press, like it's not even her, it's her like staff. Let's hear what she says. This is amazing. Ready? This is how fake she is. She did a rally Wednesday of last week in Wisconsin, and one was in Wisconsin. I think one's in Wisconsin, one's in Pennsylvania, but it's a week apart. It's Wednesday and Wednesday, 1 week apart. Okay, I don't know which one was first. One's in Wisconsin, one's in Pennsylvania. And these are excerpts of her speech saying the exact same thing in the exact same speech in two different places a week apart. And then at the end, you're going to hear she literally, the closure of the speech, they put them together at the same time, and she's literally saying the exact same words. So it's like echoing of her voice because it's taking the Wednesday speech from 1 week and Wednesday speech from the other and putting it together. And literally it's timed up perfectly as she's saying the same thing together in unison. She reads the script. She doesn't go out there and say stuff from her heart. She reads what whoever wrote it for. Listen to this.
It really is good to be back in Wisconsin.
It is so good to be back in Michigan.
Listen, let me tell you, I am clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state.
And listen, I am clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state.
I took on perpetrators of all kinds. I took on perpetrators of all kinds and had a summer job at McDonald's. I had a summer job at McDonald's. So hear me when I say, so hear me, Detroit, when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. I know Donald Trump's type. And are we ready to fight for it? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win.
That's literally saying the exact same thing a week apart in two different states. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that profound? It's Orwellian, isn't it? She cannot speak to you. She must read what whoever wrote that for her is, and she can't veer off the topic. She literally talked to the press for the first time since she announced 19 days ago for 76 seconds on a tarmac. She answered one question and danced around it and then walked out. She's not done any interviews. She's not done any extemporaneous speech. She won't talk to you normally. She's afraid to come out and just talk to you, and she's afraid to tell you what she thinks, and she's afraid to. So here's the thing. The more this goes, and I know that everybody's saying on her side is saying, if it's working, why break it? Or why change it? It's working. She's winning. She is kicking butt. She is tied with Trump. In some polls, she's leading. And so one came out yesterday from Rasmussen that shows Trump over her by 5 or 6 nationally, and one came out today that shows Trump over her by 3 or 4 or 5 or something. But there's other ones that are like not good. So they're just going to keep doing this. But that's why we don't know who she is. She is the Wall Street Journal editorial board called her Mystery Commander-in-Chief today. Kim Strassel wrote a column today called Choose Your Own Kamala. She's the political equivalent of the Choose Your Own Adventure book. Here's my questions for you. Is Kamala afraid to debate Trump more than once? I don't know if you heard that. She was asked yesterday about that. I played it for you on the air. Are you going to debate him? He proposed 3 debates, one on Fox, one on NBC, and one on ABC. She says, I'm going to do the one debate. And he goes, yeah, but what about the other? I'm open to looking at maybe another debate. But ma'am, are you literally hiding for doing 3? Are you afraid to do 3? She just kept walking away. Wait a minute. You said, say it to my face. And then she said, so he's like, I want to debate you 3 times next month. Why are you afraid to do 3 times? She's only committed to 1. She's afraid. She's afraid because she doesn't want to have to defend herself and define herself, because she knows once she does, she's going to lose. How do you feel about this? Do you think she's afraid to debate Trump more than once? And most importantly, why are they hiding her? Why are they hiding her? Do you want somebody who is a choose-your-own-adventure president where you don't know, you get to kind of decide how you think she's going to rule, and you're going to find out how she's going to lead, not rule, but lead after you elect her? You excited about that? Do you want somebody who has told us that they would ban fracking, give illegals full legal status, not enforce illegal immigration, abolish ICE, defund the police, end all of our health care, and create a government health care for everybody, even though we don't want that? If you like your plan, you cannot keep it. And now she says it's the exact opposite. Everything. So do you like that? Do you think maybe it's cool because she is everything to everyone until you? I mean, what's she going to do when she runs? Is she just going to how's she going to decide things? What's she going to do? What's she going to say? Where does she stand on China if they want to invade Taiwan, which would take all the computer chips of the world up where we couldn't have any, which means your cars. You remember we had a computer chip shortage during COVID? That's going to happen. You ain't going to get any. You ain't going to get the shortage. You ain't going to get any. Our warplanes, our warships, all of our war bombs, ships, everything for war cannot be made. Those are all computer chips. Your laptop, your cell phone, you name it, no more. So that's China. She has no position on China. She's never told us. She said Afghanistan withdrawal was great. She signed off on it. Last person in the room, that was a disaster. She is against Israel. She chided and wouldn't meet with Netanyahu, wouldn't watch his speech. Netanyahu's praised supports the lies about Hamas that they put out there, but now won't tell us anything. Who is she? What is she? What does she stand for? Do you know? Does anybody know? No. Anonymous aides talk to reporters and say why she's changed her position. Then not why. They don't tell you why. They just say she's changed her position. So what do you think? 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Is Kamala afraid to debate Trump more than once? And why are they hiding her? All right, coming up next, you're not going to believe this, a major leftist magazine, news magazine, how generic can Kamala be? The left is calling her generic, and who the heck is she? We don't know who she is. That's the freaking New Yorker magazine, dude. That's uber leftist. They don't even know who she is. She's a generic person. Is that what you want? All right, we'll see. 800-288-WBAP. I'll tell you about that New Yorker story. And also, choose your own Kamala. Some great little details on this Kim Strassel column I'll share with you next. News Talk 820 WBAP now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP. 800-288-9227. Very, very interesting, this New Yorker column. How generic can Kamala be? This is a leftist, elitist type magazine. They tend to write books for an article versus a couple pages. So I usually get through a few of them at least. But here we go. How generic can Kamala Harris be? For the past couple weeks, I've been circling around this question. Does it actually matter if Kamala stands for something? This appears to be Kamala's strategy. Don't make any unforced errors. Keep things vanilla, and eventually Trump or Vance will implode. She's not explained what exactly happened, in Washington after Joe Biden's disastrous debate. She's not explained why she's changed her mind on fracking, wobbled on Medicare for all, or how much Harris administration would handle wars in Ukraine and the Middle East. On the Democrat side, there's energized, good feelings about campaign Kamala to the degree not felt since Barack Hussein Obama's race. Nobody wants to mess that up with debates about policy. You don't need to know what she's voting for. You don't need to know what she's supporting. Just vote for her. She's like Barack. I told you this a week or two ago. She's running in the general election without having gone through a primary in which all of her vague positions would have been interrogated both by the press and by the candidates running against her. There have been no awkward debate moments like the one in 2019 when Tulsi Gabbard, then a member of Congress, reminded voters she had put more than 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. That's exactly right. put a lot of black men in jail for smoking marijuana, and now you laugh about smoking pot on the radio interviews. There you go. Nothing like you can do it. They can't. You put the brother in jail, but you can do it and laugh about it. Laugh at them. Okay. We also have this from Kim Strassel in the Wall Street Journal. Choose your own Kamala. By the way, I want to give out the number now. Chime in right now. Line's wide open. Is Kamala afraid to debate Trump more than once? You know, he put it out there 2-3 days ago that he has agreed to 3 debates, one with Fox, one with ABC, and one with, what was the other one? Fox, ABC, and I can't remember the other one. And I think it's NBC, actually. Fox, ABC, and NBC. All in September, and she only says, I'm glad he's doing one, and I'm open to another one. What? You don't want to do 3? You're afraid? You're afraid to show who you are since nobody voted for you and you've never debated anybody for president? Oh, yeah, actually you did, and when you did, you got 0.0 votes. Nobody voted for you. You dropped out before 1 vote was cast in the Democrat primaries because you were such a disaster. You were polling in heavily black South Carolina at 0.0. Nobody wanted you. An old white man named Joe Biden got a lot more in the polls than you did, so you just dropped out and let the old white man win. After you called him not a racist, but something of that nature, and that, you know, close to that. So who is she? Is Kamala afraid to debate Trump more than once? And why are they hiding her? Why do you think she doesn't want us to know who she is? What is she afraid of? Is she afraid of us knowing who she really is and what she stands for? What do you think she stands for, since she won't tell you? 800-288-W. Do you care? Does it matter to you? Like, you just get a tingle up your leg and just vote for her? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Kim Strassel writes in her column today, the political equivalent, she is the political equivalent of Choose Your Own Adventure books. 2020 presidential bid that she had, she proposed a radical progressive agenda. How would a President Harris govern in the final pages of the Choose Your Own Adventure book? She's not saying. Strassel says, the candidate who no longer speaks impromptu and instead issues backtracks and innuendos via spokespeople. Readers choose to believe she's still the left-wing Kamala of old, or faking a pivot, or the reformed Kamala of new. How does the story end? You choose, she writes. Harris in 2017 was the first senator to co-sponsor Bernie Sanders' Medicare for All plan. She's in. She's the first one to step up and say, I'm in. And then 2 years later, in 2019, she vowed at a primary hall to eliminate private insurance. That was in 2019, dude. About 5 years later, she you don't know who she is, and she has aides anonymously tell the press, hey, tell people that I'm not for that anymore. Well, why? We just tell people that, please. Who are you? Can I report? No, In 2019, she told us there's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking, detailing her day one priority of eliminating it on public lands, as well as ending offshore drilling. Presumably, she also would enact further legislation, presumably to kill fracking and drilling on private land, too. Spokesperson now generically says, she no longer wants to ban fracking. Oh, who said it? I don't know. Are we sure she said it? Supposedly some anonymous person said it, and the press says it's them. Why won't she tell us? She's not talking to anybody right now. Just vote for her. Is she for any fracking anymore? Who knows? Make your best conjecture and vote on, says Strassel. Lastly, she has a few more lines I want to share with you in this lengthy piece. In 2019, she co-sponsored the New Green Deal and its promise of federal jobs guarantee. Anybody who wants a federal job will just get some government-paid job. Who cares if it's needed? Who cares if you're qualified? You get it. Campaigns, guess who pays for it? We do! Campaign staff says she's changed her position. Who told us that? Anonymous people. She came out for confiscating guns through a mandatory buyback. Come to my door, you want my guns? You ain't getting them. She would do it, though. Now, anonymous people that work with her say, she's not for that anymore. Why? How did she come to this agreement? Who knows? Choose your own adventure. Asked if she favored abolishing ICE and immigration, ICE. She said once ICE was bad enough that we need to think about starting from scratch, which means abolish it and start something up without something else. Does she hold that view? campaign anonymously says she doesn't support that anymore. What the hell is this? Excuse my language. What the hell is this? Have you ever voted for somebody who literally has changed everything but not had the balls to tell you who they are, or the ovaries to tell you who they are? Has anybody ever won office, like backtracking everything, but they don't even tell you this? Their people do anonymously? Does this make you excited? Tell you who it does make excited. These are some nasty ladies, very unhappy ladies. And look, I always treat my neighbors with love and respect. And if I had these ladies, these miserable women, as my neighbors, I would not mistreat them. I wouldn't say anything negative to them. But these are miserable, nasty women, and who would see me mowing my lawn. I usually do open carry when I mow my lawn, not because I try to show it off or anything. I prefer not. I go concealed everywhere else, because if some dog runs up to me and grabs onto my leg, some pit bull from 2 blocks away and that I don't know about, puts its incisors on me, I'm going to just shoot it just on the side. That happened to my buddy David, my former producer. 2 of them. One bit him, one bit his dog. Attacked him. He did nothing wrong. They came at him and bit him. He stabbed him 7 times in the side of the gut until the guts were hanging out. Then it stopped. 7 times. For me, it'll be 2 shots in about 2 seconds. Here's these crazy ladies who would freak out. Oh, you made it again!
We're gonna win.
This is at a Kamala rally. Listen to these people.
We're gonna win. To be, cocky, but I'm optimistic.
I've always been a supporter of.
Now, this idiot is sign language. She's doing sign language while she's talking to us. These are these idiots. These are the Karens.
She's a woman, and she's black.
I'm voting for her because she's black and she's a woman. She has no control over that. It's like if a dog's born and the dog is a female. I think it's awesome. What is this? Freaking animals are born with a sex, a gender. What is this? She's also black. Yeah, but if she's a moron, if she's for executing you when you're 60 years old because you're too old and she doesn't want to pay for your health care, well, she's black.
And she's black, and she'll be the first president candidate that I think she will win.
Can you imagine this crazy woman who's bent over and doing sign language in front of you being your neighbor? How would she feel if she sees me with open carry and my Trump sign up in my front yard? I think she would be emotionally damaged. She would probably have to call the police, ask Kamala to take away my guns, mandatory buyback. He has a weapon of war. I saw it.
And like I said, I'm all about equal access and equal women health.
Women and equal women. Did you hear her? She's like that. Who's the wicked whatever that was in Prince Cinderella? And she's that nasty lady with the long nose with a wart. Yeah.
Women health choice.
Women. Oh, man. I like killing babies. Kamala's for killing. Tim Walz made Minnesota so that you can kill a baby right on the day it's born, right before it's born. It could be a minor. I like that. He supports black women. Wow. Hey, we got some nut jobs on our side, but those ladies are like freaking crazy cat ladies, and they are like a nails on a chalkboard. Whew. There ain't no convincing them. They want to put Trump in jail. They're the ones going, lock him up! Lock him up! If they ain't got no husband, and if they do, he's the most miserable, poor SOB in the world. He just goes in the other room and he watches TV and he just ignores that crazy old lady and goes, what the heck? She used to be hot back in the day. She is ugly and miserable now. What the hell did I do to myself? What did I get myself into? This is her cult, her religion, her faith is this stuff. This is her religion. She has that hole in her heart and she fills it with this. This is her religion. Oof, God help these people. Okay. All right. Hey, by the way, quick point on Tim Walz, also her VP candidate. Since he became the governor of Minnesota, he's in his second term. Aggravated assault is up 38% since he became governor. Ag assault, that's the precursor to murder, okay? Beating somebody with a gun, pointing a gun at them and shooting them, but not killing them. Aggravated assault is up 38% since he became governor. Homicide is up 118%. Robberies are up 18.9%. Theft of motor vehicles up 255.5%, and gunshot wounds are up 70.1%. Good job, Governor Walz. You make sure those people burn the city down. He literally, guess what? The National Guard, the Minnesota National Guard, he waited 3 days. He watched that police station in the city burn. His wife said, I played it for you on the air, she left her windows open at night so she could smell. She literally said, quote, smell the burning tires. And the National Guard testified. The Minnesota National Guard testified after all this went down, and they were called in on the third day, and it immediately put everything to rest. It stopped it. And the Minnesota National Guard testified. The head of the National Guard for the whole state testified to their state house in hearings afterwards about this, about George Fentanyl and his death and the George Fentanyl riots. He testified that it would have immediately quelled the riots if he called them right away. They wouldn't have happened. He said that on the record. Amazing, isn't it? That's what's coming our way. Okay, because Orange Man's bad. Yeah. Next, this should really concern you. The Middle East is preparing for war, and it's bad. As far as we could see something tonight, tomorrow. It could be in a week. And if it goes down, it ain't gonna be like anything before, because Israel not just gonna do what they did before and do a precision strike that scares the Iranians, shows them they know where everything is. They've got intelligence on the inside. They got people on the inside with spotters where they can put a precision bomb right there that's right next to the nuclear facility but not hit the nuclear facility. They're actually going to take out most likely their grid, their electric grid, their nuclear program, their refineries, and the top leadership of Iran, which they've never done before. They're not going to play. They're going to just knock them out. And the people will then quite possibly do what they're doing in Venezuela, trying to overthrow the government themselves, because they will finally hit that. That's literally what's most likely going to happen if they strike back. That's literally it. And the U.S. is, this was out in the Wall Street Journal yesterday into today. The U.S. now is warning Iran of, quote, serious risk if they conduct a major attack on Israel. And that's what it is. Stand by for all that. Coming up next. And by the way, don't worry. Kamala will not tell you. We have no idea where her position is on this, but just vote for her, guys. She's black, as that lady said. We are on the precipice of Middle East war, and Wall Street Journal came out with this yesterday afternoon. U.S. warns Iran of serious risk if it conducts major attack on Israel. This is what's going to happen here. And I've gone in depth, but I want to set up much quicker this time. Israel took out the number one guy in Hamas, one of the 3 billionaires that runs Hamas from five-star luxury in Qatar. Ismail Haniyeh, he was the head of the entire thing. He was the political head of it, so he was at the absolute head. He was in Iran, shook hands with the newly elected president, and went back to his luxury compound. It's Iranian compound in Tehran. Whereupon the Israeli government left a bomb in his room 2 months earlier, and they went and blew him up, killed him. Iran was so mad about that because they were humiliated in front of the world. Right after he smiled, shook his hand, went back and took a dirt nap. They blew up so young, And then also on the same day, they took out the two people in Gaza with Hamas. It's Yahya Sinwar, he's still alive, but his equivalent, the two people that planned the attack on October 7th that broke the ceasefire and killed and raped all those Israelis, 1,200 of them, and kidnapped 288 of them, many of them U.S. citizens, at least 8. They killed the top guy there in Gaza who's tied with Yahya Sinwar, so there's only one left, and Yahya's there. Now Yahya's in charge of the whole thing. He's the one who literally was the mastermind of October 7th, and we're supposed to negotiate with him. Joe and Kamala are like humping, or like telling Israel, he's awesome. Yahya's awesome. He slaughtered all of you. He planned all this to kill you, rape you, and put the babies in ovens. They put babies in ovens and rape the girls, rape the children. And you know what? He's going to meet with you. He's going to work with you. So he's in charge. You got to negotiate with these guys. Joe's like, come on, man, we can do this. I want to have some peace before I leave. I want to look great. Who cares about you? Screw you, Israel. Let them kill you again. Keep them in power. Let them do another mini Holocaust on you. And they also, at the same time, Biden warned them, don't go. The leader of Hezbollah, which is also Iranian run, like Hamas is Iranian run, it's all sponsored and run by Iranian. It's terrorism that they're doing through them. In the north, Lebanon is Hezbollah, and a Hezbollah leader ordered the bombing and killing of 12 children on a playground last week. And Joe said, don't hit back, please. The next day, they blew the guy up. Took care of him, even though Joe said don't do it. They're like, screw you. You would, if we told you that, you'd laugh at us. If Bin Laden did that to you, when Bin Laden did it to you, you told us to not do anything, you would have told us to bleep off. And then today they just killed another top Hamas leader who was in Lebanon. They killed another one. They're just doing bam, bam, because those sons of bees went in there and broke the ceasefire and killed him and raped him, murdered him, kidnapped him, took him hostage. So now the U.S. is warning them. Iran is going to strike back pretty hard, probably harder than the last time it did. And the U.S. is warning them, they're going to take out everything. They're going to take you all out. They're going to overthrow your government, and they're going to take out your nuclear program, your grids, your oil refineries, everything. And they're trying to warn them in the most serious way, and they're still preparing for war. I'm going to give you the rest of this coming up next, and we're going to talk about how likely do you think the Middle East is about to break out into war? How confident are you in Kamala and Joe's leadership on this? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Coming up at 10:04, Iran is positioned to have nuclear weapons program. They're better positioned right now than ever before. It's coming up fast. All this is next on the Chris Crock Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.